All right, fight fans, welcome to another deep dive. And today, we've got a real knockout artist for you to get to know.
Yeah, this one is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to this deep dive.
We're talking about Gervonta Tank Davis.
Tank Davis.
Now, we love to go deep on these deep dives, and we really want to look beyond just, the surface level stuff that you see, on the highlight reels and things like that.
Right.
So we're going to take you through, how he got started, his style, the Mayweather influence.
The Mayweather influence is huge.
Yeah, what makes him such a, captivating fighter.
It's more than just the knockouts, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a lot of those.
He does have a lot of knockouts. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and that's something we're really going to dig into today, just how he manages to put people to sleep so often.
Yeah, his power is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in and, start with, I guess, the basics, just to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
29 wins, 27 knockouts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just insane.
Pretty unheard of. When you look at the history of boxing, you just don't see those kind of numbers very often.
And he started his pro career. I mean, talk about making a statement.
Oh, yeah.
10 straight knockouts to start his career.
That's a statement right there.
I mean, is there any precedent for that? I mean, I can't think of anybody else.
No, I mean, there are fighters who've had great knockout streaks, but to start your career like that, it's almost like a force of nature just unleashed on the boxing world,
Yeah, and it's interesting, too, because, he became a champion at just 22 years old.
22 years old. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredibly young to be reaching those heights in the sport of boxing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess some people are, finishing college at that age.
Exactly. Still figuring out what they want to do with their lives, and here he is, already a world champion.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. And, early on in his career, he was taking on, some pretty seasoned veterans.
Right, not just beating them, knocking them out.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Cristela Cruz.
It's tough veteran.
Yeah, and Ray Douay. I mean, these are guys who've been in the ring with the best.
Absolutely. Yeah, these are guys who've gone the distance with world champions.
Yeah, and he was, taking him apart.
Yeah, it was more than just winning. He was making a statement in those fights.
So, it's clear he's got this incredible natural talent, but you can't talk about Tank Davis without talking about the Mayweather influence.
Right. Floyd Mayweather Jr., one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest.
Yeah, and he saw something in Tank.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Mayweather has a keen eye for talent, and he obviously saw something special in Davis and decided to take him under his wing.
And you can see that influence in his style, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Early on, Tank was really all about that raw power, just overwhelming opponents with his aggression and his knockout ability.
Right, just a knockout machine.
But under Mayweather's guidance, he's developed into a much more well-rounded fighter,
So he's not just a brawler.
No, he's become a more tactical fighter, a more strategic fighter.
Yeah, and you can see that in the way he sets up his opponents, the way he picks his shots.
Exactly. He's not just throwing punches, he's thinking ahead. He's planning, he's setting traps.
And that's something that Mayweather was known for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mayweather was a master of defense and counterpunching, and you can see those elements in Tank's game now.
And it's not just his, his boxing IQ, but also his physical ability. I mean, the guy is just so versatile.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's won championships in 3 different weight classes: lightweight, super lightweight, and super featherweight.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, moving up and down in weight like that and still being able to dominate.
Most fighters struggle to even stay in one weight class, let alone move between 3 and still perform at the highest level.
Yeah. And that really speaks to his, adaptability, his commitment to his craft.
Absolutely. He's not just a one-trick pony. He's a complete fighter.
So let's talk about those knockouts.
All right, let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some, truly spectacular knockouts to talk about.
Oh, yeah, the source material highlights some real gems.
I mean, that uppercut against Leo Santa Cruz.
Oh, man, that was a thing of beauty.
It was like time just stood still.
And then, boom, lights out.
You could just see Santa Cruz's lights go out.
Just a perfectly timed, perfectly placed uppercut.
It was surgical.
It really was. And then you've got that body shot against Ryan Garcia.
Oh, man, that went viral.
That was all over social media.
I was like, everybody was talking about that knockout.
And it wasn't just a lucky punch. It was a perfectly placed shot right to the liver.
I mean, it just dropped Garcia like a sack of potatoes.
And that's what's so impressive about Tank's power. It's not just about the big haymakers. It's about his ability to target those vulnerable spots.
Yeah, he knows exactly where to hit you to inflict the most damage.
And then you've got the Mario Barrios fight.
Oh, man, that was a war.
That was a back-and-forth battle.
I mean, Barrios really took it to Tank in that fight.
He did. He landed some big shots.
But Tank showed his resilience in that fight.
He showed his heart.
He weathered the storm and came back to win by knockout.
That's what separates the champions from the contenders, that ability to take a punch, to adjust, to overcome adversity.
Yeah, and you know, that fight really showed that Tank is more than just a knockout artist. He's a complete fighter.
Absolutely. He's got the power, he's got the speed, he's got the boxing IQ, and he's got the heart.
So, you know, it's clear that Tank Davis is, you know, one of the most exciting fighters in boxing today.
Oh, yeah. He's a must-see attraction.
But what does his rise tell us about the state of boxing?
Well, I think it's a really interesting time for boxing. You've got this new generation of fighters coming up, guys like Tank Davis, who are bringing this raw energy and excitement to the sport.
And you know, they're bringing in a new generation of fans.
Absolutely. These are the guys who are going to carry the torch for boxing into the future.
But, you know, with Tank Davis in particular, I mean, can he maintain this level of dominance?
That's the big question, right? Can he keep knocking people out? Can he stay at the top of the sport?
Yeah, I mean, the competition's only going to get tougher.
Exactly. As he moves up the ranks, he's going to face more experienced, more skilled opponents.
And you know, he's going to have to keep evolving his style.
Absolutely. He can't just rely on his power. He's going to have to keep developing his boxing IQ, his strategy.
And you know, there's some potential matchups out there that would really test him.
Oh, yeah. There are some fights out there that would be absolutely epic.
I mean, can you imagine Tank Davis versus, you know, some of the other top guys in his division?
Oh, man. Those are the fights that boxing fans dream of.
Yeah, those are the fights that would really determine his legacy.
And I think that's what makes Tank Davis so compelling to watch. He's still got so much potential, so much room to grow.
And you know, who knows what the future holds for him.
It's an exciting time to be a Tank Davis fan, that's for sure.
All right, fight fans. So that's our deep dive into the world of Gervonta Tank Davis.
The Knockout King.
If you haven't seen him fight, do yourself a favor and check out some of his highlights.
Especially those knockouts we talked about.
Yeah, you will not be disappointed.
You'll see why they call him Tank.
He is a force of nature.
And one of the most exciting fighters in the world today.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See ya!